super grateful for this opportunity. I am from the nation's capital, Washington, D.C., and I've lived here since 2014. And my background is I am a pianist. I went to college to study piano pedagogy, which is the art and business side of music. And right now I teach 15 students, as well as trying to make this job work and get better at it. So schooling just took a while for me. So I graduated in 2018, a little later in life. And when I graduated, I just knew there was more out there than just locking myself up in a practice room for 4 to 6 hours a day. And I loved making a difference in students' lives, young kids, but there's just so much more out there that I wanted to use my skills to do something else. So I was on an airplane, December 2019, I think, and I think it was 2020. And I got an Indeed. I sent my resume out, and then I got an Indeed email saying, "Hey, Pam Alara wants to have an interview." And as the flight attendant was saying, "Everyone shut down your phones," I saw this email and I looked to my husband. I was like, should I do it? And he's like, "Sure, why not?" So I decided to book an appointment, and a couple weeks later, it was love at first phone call with her, and I just said, why not? And it was a long process starting. The licensing took forever because everything was shut down, and DC was not kind at all with licensing and marriage licensing. It was a disaster. So so that's how I got started, and I've never looked back, and it's been awesome.
So talk to me more about, becoming this music specialist, this pianist. We read a book called Talent Code. It's one of Andy's favorite books. Another great one that talks about this is Outliers by Malcom Gladwell. And it talks about 10,000 hours. As you were going through school, and when did you start taking piano lessons? When did you become tell us about your practice schedule and everything leading up into college and through college.
Yes. So I started taking piano lessons when I was 9, and it was always sports and music for me up until I got to high school. I had a teacher, my choral director, who just inspired me, and music was just a whole new world for me. I started getting good coaching. I got a new teacher, which changed my life. And I was like, you know what? I want to make a difference. I didn't have the best instructors growing up. And I was like, there are so many people out there who are not getting good lessons from, teachers that are just your teacher down the block, not really giving good instruction and helping students to play well and set them up for success. So 2010 is when I got serious. I started practice. I went from 10 minutes a day to practice to 2 hours, which was like, wow. And then a year later, I got super serious. After school, from 3 o'clock to 10 o'clock, I would practice nonstop. I sacrificed a lot. I didn't really hang out with my family. I knew where I wanted to be when I graduated high school and when I graduated college. So I was willing to put it all out on the line and, practice. So my practice regimen was 4 to 6 hours a day, every day in college. And I was willing to do whatever I had to do to make sure I fit in that practice time.
Wow. So, that people just don't understand how much time it takes to perfect your craft.
Yeah, it's hard.
I can't.
It's mentally hard.
I could play the cat chow commercial, the meow 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 meow. That's about all I could play on the piano.
That's okay.
But what I love about it, and it translates, Cecelia, it translates so well into what we do here at the Alliance.
Exactly.
It's, so many people, it's just like, I made 28 phone calls and, I had 3 people hang up on me. One person was even mean. And it's just like, I don't know that this is for me. Well, after 10 minutes of playing the piano, you might have said the same thing. I'm not getting any better. That's because you're only playing 10 minutes. But then you got serious. You got your why. And I love these success coins. What do you want? You decided you wanted to be an expert on the piano, and then you just dedicated your time and your practice. And I promise you, Cecelia, when you do the same thing here, you'll have the same results here. You will be an expert. I love also what you said about the coaching piece of it. Now you're direct to James and Pam Lara out of Arizona, so you have no excuses in terms of not having the coaching. But there are people on this call, talking to us right now that maybe they're not getting the help they feel like they need or something like that. The unfair advantage of the Alliance, one of the unfair advantages of the Alliance is the leadership that you have on this team. Ultimately, we'll all go up to Andy Albright. So if you feel like you're not getting the help you need, find out who hired that person and go talk to that person. But just like Cecelia needed to find her teacher, you find your teacher. Make it a point. Take ownership of your business and find your teacher to be successful here at the Alliance, because it's out there. We got hotspots, we got TWCs, we got the activity call, we got all of those things.
Wait, real quick. I love that you said that, because I was telling Joseph Dukes last week that I don't think, if I did not have my upline, Pam, James, Joseph, Mike, and Noel, I don't think I would have lasted that time period of last May all the way up until NatCon. I really wouldn't have. Most people would have quit, but because I just always leaned into them, I call them a bajillion times all the time. They're my best friends. And I leaned into them, and I just got coaching, even though everything was slow. But yeah, it was because of my team that I'm still here, and I love it.
So talk to us about NatCon. I know we talked a little bit earlier. People always say, how long have you been with the Alliance? To me, it's not the day you got your license or the day you signed your contract. Your start date with the Alliance is the day you made a decision that this is what you're going to work on. And you were telling me earlier that National Convention had that impact for you. So talk to us a little bit about, why you went to NatCon and what you got out of NatCon and how that's impacting what you've been doing since NatCon.
Yeah, so I went to NatCon because it's part of the system that Andy has laid out for us. And I wanted to continue to grow, and I wanted to be around my team. And it was at NatCon that, I made that decision to put everything on the line. I created new goals for myself. I finally figured out a better schedule for me to be able to do this job as well as teach. I was willing to just getting back to kind of that sacrifice. Like in college, I knew what it took to sacrifice for what I wanted. And I felt like after I graduated, I lost that. And so getting back into this job, it was like learning how to sacrifice again. And so does that answer everything?
Yeah, no, that's awesome. And talking to Mike Leventovich last night, about you, he's saying you are one of the best at doing the basics in the home, which is pick up the phone, pick up a phone and pick up a check, and that you've never hesitated. And he just went on and on about your teachability, your coachability, and how much of a student you are and how much of a sponge you are. You mentioned getting a marriage license was hard. So recently married?
Yes, I got married during COVID, August.
So it was a smaller affair.
It was.
Now, what does your husband think in terms of this business and what your goals are?
Yeah, he's fully supportive. He was supportive from day one. Oftentimes I'll come in from running appointments and he'll say, wow, you're so lucky you get to meet with people. He's a people person. He loves meeting people. So I'm so grateful for him because I could not do this job without him. He's supportive, and one day we'll get him more on board. But for now,
I just couldn't be more thankful to the Lord for just his support.
So part-time, I know February was your best month. Tell us about, so you're teaching piano students, that's your full-time gig. And so mixing this in part-time, you mentioned 10 appointments a week is kind of your goal and your minimum for yourself, which ties in well with what we talk about. If you're full-time, we think you ought to be doing at least 20, if not ramping up to 40 appointments a week. So how is it going part-time? You've learned a lot since National Convention, since you made that commitment. Talk to us about how the process has gone, and I know what are some of the results you're seeing, and how does that inspire you to want to do even more moving forward?
Yeah, the process has been great. I'm starting to see that I'm writing more every week, and I'm seeing more money go in the bank every week. Whereas like before, I saw money maybe like once a month come into the bank. So just the fact that like, yeah, I am making at least $500 a week now, and my goal is to issue pay at least 8,000. I just barely made it last month. But yeah, like I said, I don't want to be content with that. Like it's addicting. Like I'm really excited for the rest of March. I really want to push higher than 8,000 issue paid. So it's just helped me to be like, yeah, like everyone else could do it. It's just as long as you follow the system and be consistent is the key. And it's been my mantra, is just be consistent. And eventually, like, yeah, you will see the results. You will be more successful. You'll grow. And I'll just constantly being consistent and trying to learn and get as much coaching as I can.
Very good. So have you started doing anything on the business building side? We say we do one thing here at the Alliance, so recruit and build one thing. And so you're getting the sales system down great. You got your vision expanded at NatCon. Where are you at on the building side of things?
Yeah, honestly, the business recruiting side has been slow. I didn't see the importance of it until NatCon. I was on the train that let me do well, be a good example so others can see that, oh, I am making money, before, but I realized that's not important. Just don't categorize people is what Mike told me the other day. Like, don't starve people from this opportunity, and to just make sure you tell them. So I've started an Indeed app. I've started contacting Warm Market. My upline has been at my side this past week, giving me some goals and asking me to do some things, to help build. So, and I do want to build, I would love to have a couple people under me, just because, if we have a family in the near future, it would be nice. And I teach, right? So I do love coaching. I love motivating people, and I want to do that for people.
And, we always like to say you owe it to them to show it to them. Don't decide for people, let people decide for themselves, and give them opportunity. I loved what Andy said. I think he said it last week. He talked about your job is to plant the seeds, not to grow it. You're the seed planter, you're the farmer, you're not the grower. How important to you is plugging into Reno and coming to family reunion? And do you have a goal of bringing people with you to family reunion now that you're starting to start building?
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's extremely important. I feel like I'm in this lull, or I need that event to kick me in the butt a little more to keep going. So I'm excited. So yeah, it's just so important to be around the team and to always, to go there and to just keep learning from the best of the best. And my husband's coming with me. Awesome. Like I told you, he's been to a lot of the events last year. Mm-hmm. So yeah, he's coming. I would obviously love to have someone come with me. I don't think I've really been intentional or set that as a goal, but yeah, it would be important for me to definitely bring someone alongside and to give them that experience.
Congratulations on getting off to a fast start coming out of NatCon and growing your business, and looking forward to seeing you soon.
Hey, we hope you enjoyed that video, and if you like that one, we have some more for you right here. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button below.